Mixture is a mixture that's made up of different constituents. It can easily be distinguished either with our naked eyes or under microscope. This type of mixture is when they are not in the same states. They are not in the same state, and the particles there can be seen easily with our naked eyes or under microscope. That's example of heterogeneous mixture. E.g., now you can talk about water and sand. Water, liquid states, while sand is a solid state. This is an example of heterogeneous mixture. Let's look at example of mixtures and their constituents. Number one, we have air. The constituents are, as I've said earlier, oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen. Rare gases. We have dust and we have moisture that make up air. Number two example of mixture is soil. Soil consists of sand, clay, humus, water, air, etc. Number three, urine. Urine consists of urea, so which means urea is a compound, water is a compound, and mineral salt contains several elements, as we have said, talking about sodium, talking about chlorine. They are all examples of elements that we have discussed. Number four, palm wine is a mixture. Palm wine contains water, sugar, alkanol, mineral salt, vitamins, yeast, protein, fat, etc. Number five is Coca-Cola, the one that you are used to. Coca-Cola contains water, sugar, carbon dioxide, and another element referred to as cola. Also, we have milk. Milk contains water, sugar, fat, protein, mineral salt, vitamins, etc. Number seven example of mixture is seawater. Water from the sea. It contains the water, it contains mineral salt, bacteria, remains of organic matter, that is animal or plant that have died and decay and buried under the sea by nature. Number eight is brass. Brass contains copper and zinc. Also, we can also talk about bronze. It's also a mixture. Bronze contains copper and tin. These are the example of mixture. Now, mixture and compound can be distinguished, or the difference between the two, using the following points: differences between mixture and compound. Number one, mixture may be homogeneous or heterogeneous. Homogeneous when the constituents are in the same states or uniform. Heterogeneous when the constituents are not the same. But compound is always homogeneous. Always homogeneous. The second difference, in mixture, the constituents are not chemically bound together, but they can be easily separated by any physical method. The constituents of mixtures are not chemically combined, and that's why they can be separated by physical method. But in the case of compound, as we have defined before, compound form when two or more elements combine chemically. So their components, which are elements, they are combined chemically and cannot be separated by physical method. The third example, in mixture, the components can vary. The component can vary. For example, now when you have sand and water, depend on your measurement of your water and your sand. And while the component is always fixed. For example, water, example of a compound. It must contain 2 moles of hydrogen and 1 mole of oxygen. Or you can say what? 2 atoms of hydrogen or 1 atom of oxygen. That's why the formula is H2O. Number 4, the difference between a mixture cannot be represented by chemical formula, while a compound can be represented by a chemical formula. As we have discussed, sodium chloride, the formula is NaCl. Water, the formula is H2O. Limestone, the formula is CaCO3. So a compound can be represented by a chemical formula. Number 5, in the property of a mixture are the sum of those individual constituents. Property of a mixture are the sum of those of its individual constituents. While in the case of compound, property of a compound differently from those of its component elements. For example, water is H2O. Property of water is different from that of hydrogen and that of oxygen. When hydrogen appear as hydrogen, as that element, while oxygen as what? So when the water now form, the property is different from the two combined together. Number 6, mixture is not accompanied by external force. That is, when you try to combine your mixture. For example, now your rice and stone combined together will not require any heat given out. But compound form a sort of chemical reaction, so which means in that chemical process, it will be liberated. It will be liberated. So this is the end of this topic. We refer to that is chemical classification of matter. We have classified matter now into physical and also what? Chemical. Physical classification of matter, solid, liquid, and gas, while the chemical, element, compound, and mixture. Bye for now.